Well, hello everybody out there in TV land. Jonathan Cronstead here, president of Kajabi, with our VP of Marketing, Joe Henschel, actually my hair mentor, joining us today for an amazing broadcast. We're going to have a ton of fun on today's Ask Kajabi. So, for those of you that this is your first time being live with us on hashtag Ask Kajabi, this is something we do every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, and we do it for one reason and one reason only. That is to be here live with you, answer your questions, talk about some of the things that are working, that are exciting in the world of Kajabi, and how you can use them to grow your business. So we're going to cover a lot of ground today. Much of it is going to be marketing based, hence having our VP of Marketing here with me. So please bring your marketing questions. Today is a day to talk about copywriting, campaign strategy, how you're positioning your offer, and how you're leveraging all of the solutions that are built into the Kajabi platform to maximize the results in your business. So we're going to cover a lot of ground. We've got a lot of fun to have. And as always, put your questions in the comments. If you're catching this not live, don't worry. You can still put your questions in the comments, and we're going to answer them for you. So we look forward to chatting with you soon. And Joe, who do we have on there so far? Anybody saying hello?
Yeah, Joyce and Tamsin and Nancy and Joanne. Hi, all you guys. I mean, we're stoked to be here. And yes, Tamsin, life is never dull in Kajabi. Always exciting and fun. I agree completely. But what we wanted to kind of just, if you guys have any questions, again, I'm looking at them, so I'm not being rude and looking over to the side. I am looking at questions. You guys are...
He's totally being rude, actually. Yeah. We just make up names, and then there's a football game on over here to the right of Joe that we're actually looking at, this in case you were wondering.
Completely true. Now, I'm actually looking at myself, which is really awkward. Like,
it's like a Joeception, basically. It's very strange.
But yeah, I mean, the biggest thing that I just wanted to encourage, everyone who's a user, or maybe you're not, maybe you've never even heard of Kajabi. This is not just live in our user group. This is also live in our public Facebook group too, and this goes live into our YouTube channel. So there's a lot of people that don't know about Kajabi, and so the biggest thing that I wanted to just reiterate is that Kajabi has so many tools built in. It's crazy. I mean, we have full-fledged email marketing, autoresponders, email sequences. We have landing pages. We have opt-in pages. You're just able to do so much with your prospects. You're able to bring them in. You're able to just reach out to them and market to them and do just pretty much everything all under one roof, which is really powerful. And I know that Jeremy and I last week kind of were talking a little bit about some of the things that are coming, and there's going to be a lot more ways for you to continually reach out to prospects. I'm being very vague.
and by the way, Jeremy's going to be doing a lot more. In case you didn't see it, it's in the Facebook group. Yeah. Jeremy is our vice president of product, and he and Joe actually were on our Ask Kajabi last week, one of the highest viewed episodes we've ever had. It's now over 4,000 views and counting. So clearly what we're building, why we're building it, and what we'll be building in the future is a topic that you all enjoy. So we're going to be doing more of that with Jeremy. So if you look at the idea of the solutions that Kajabi has created, a lot of them Joe just mentioned, and a lot more of them are there for you to uncover. And certainly on our marketing page, you can read more about them, and on our blog. The reason that all of this exists is very simple. If you look at all of the industry trends and what's out there right now, you have anything from self-directed digital education being ranked at a $75 billion industry. If you broaden that out to digital education as a whole, there are estimates that are as high as $100 to $300 billion for this industry size. Needless to say, it's enough that no matter how small your niche or passion is, you're going to be able to carve out an exciting business in this world of marketing your knowledge online. And when you look at the trend lines of global connectivity, you have 3 billion new connected users coming online globally by 2020. So if you think about this idea of the size of knowledge being sold online, the industry as a whole, and you add to it the amount of individuals that are going to be joining this world of getting connected, desiring to learn about their passions, broaden their career choices, improve their skills, this is a very exciting time for you to be in this industry. So first and foremost, you are at the right place at the right time, and if you're watching this, odds are you've chosen the right platform. So some of the things that we're most excited about that we're developing right now, we just entered our newest development cycle, Nomad, starting on Monday. We have some features that are going to be coming your way that are really designed to take your marketing capabilities to an entirely new level. and bringing in this idea of having marketing be a very conversational, interactive journey versus just aspects of what I would call push marketing, where you're communicating outwardly, but your users or your would-be users are not necessarily communicating back with you. So we've got a lot of features in that regard. We've gotten a lot of desires from you to have more of that in the platform. So that's coming. Now, I guess what I would love to know, Joe, is you're in the trenches every single day building out campaigns.
Yeah.
If you were to look at your favorite Kajabi marketing feature, if you were talking to everybody that's watching us out there today and they might be wondering, where do I want to start? What feature or what area do I want to master first? And I think I know your answer, but I'm curious. If you were new or you were experienced, but maybe you haven't launched your course yet, what area would you work on mastering first?
Well, the awesome part about Kajabi is that we've kind of taken a lot of our marketing knowledge that we've learned just by marketing Kajabi and a lot of other things, and we've kind of built it in where we make it very push button simple in a sense. I know that that's kind of a weird term to say, but honestly, the thing that probably excited me the most in our marketing was pipelines, because the reality is
for those of you that are wondering, I did guess correctly.
Yeah.
My guess was pipelines.
Yeah.
I should have said pipelines, but you guys might not have heard me, and he would have heard me, so it would have totally skewed my guess.
I mean, the reality is that we as marketers, because I've been marketing Kajabi as a software, all this other stuff, but also I'm an entrepreneur, so I've marketed, as an individual entrepreneur also. But the power that you have to just literally push a button and say create a pipeline, and it creates your opt-in pages, it creates your lead magnet, it creates all your email sequences, it does pretty much everything for you, then all you got to do is personalize it. That is a huge step, and it saves an entrepreneur, which I know a lot of entrepreneurs that are literally working full-time jobs and doing this on the side. It saves them hours and hours of time. And we've given you even email copy and all this other stuff. And so that's the thing that probably excites me the most about Kajabi is that, that you could literally you could push a button and create a pipeline. And the awesome part is we have multiple pipelines. So we have, your promotional offer pipelines. We have your full product launch formula pipeline. We have all these different things, and there's going to be more and more coming, which is really exciting. But the other thing that I love about Kajabi, and we actually use it here, is our stats for our landing pages is huge. I mean, we were just before this looking at Facebook ads and looking at how things were performing and how they're converting and stuff, and we're able to go into Kajabi and say, okay, here's how many people landed on this landing page, here's how many people opted into that specific opt-in, and then we can jump over to Facebook and we can kind of finish the equation with kind of some different things that are happening, purchases and everything like that. But that is such a powerful tool as a marketer to be able to actually put concrete numbers, and having that built into Kajabi, literally you can just see everything, the last 7 days, the last 30 days. It's just really powerful. So
Joe's going to take a quick look at our question thread and see if any of you have asked us anything while we're here live with you. Yeah. The one thing that I want to talk about is technology is unbelievable. We have probably, in my opinion, and I'm certainly biased, but it's still a good opinion. We have some of the smartest, most talented developers I have ever seen. The desire to create creative solutions that the market has never seen before, to remove those technology barriers from your journey, is exactly why Kajabi exists. Now, let me share with you the one barrier that we can't remove. That is your passion and your transformational message. That when you look at what we can do, we can literally today facilitate every aspect of your digital entrepreneurship journey with pipelines. Never before in the industry can you, with a few clicks, have a fully integrated, fully connected marketing pipeline that takes you from lead capture to lead nurture to even promotional sale or full product launch ever before, all integrated out of the box, no other platforms, no connecting, no APIs, nothing else needed. Never been done before. However, all of that technological wizardry is only going to help if you've gotten clear on your passion, on your messaging, and how you are going to create that transformation for your future users, your members. So I just want to share with you that most people, this is an area that I see countless entrepreneurs stall out because they immediately dive in and they believe that the technology and knowing everything about everything, technologically speaking, is what is going to drive results. So they immediately dive in and, to be fair, overcomplicate everything. They've got Zapier hooks connected to 342 applications that are designed to create the ultimate 3-year-long follow-up sequence that even cooks breakfast for you and will meet you at your house and give you a back massage. Now, would that be amazing to have? Absolutely. Is it where you should start? Absolutely not. A good friend of mine, Jermaine Griggs, one of the most well-known automation marketers on the planet, has a 3-year-long follow-up sequence. If you start in his world today, the next 3 years of your life are scripted. It took him a decade to get there. It's not like he started and said, okay, I need the next 3 years of your life to be scripted. So if you're looking at this, pipelines is where you start. Pipelines is where you're going to have the easiest, fastest implementation of marketing best practices. But we still need you to make sure you're bringing the passion, you're bringing the transformation, and you are prepared to package that messaging so that you can let the technology do the heavy lifting for you. So if you're wondering where to start, first and foremost, your passion. Plug that passion into pipelines, and you got a whole lot of potential for profit. I know that was a lot of P's, so and don't ask me to repeat it because I can't. But that's what we got on pipeline. So, Jose, anybody asked us any questions?
One thing I did want to say real quick that Jake was talking about is Zapier. I know a lot of people hear, oh, you can just use Zapier for that, and that maybe intimidates a lot of people. And 6 months ago, I would probably tell you, hey, like some of this stuff, like you need to use Zapier to really make this all work together. But it's pretty crazy. I think the majority of our users have probably, I'd be really surprised if they're even using it for a majority of things now, which is really cool because we've built a lot of that functionality in. So, I love Zapier. We actually use it for a lot of like really in-depth things here in our marketing, but we're taking out the need to use external sources, a lot with a lot of these new features. So really exciting stuff. So Tamsin says, follow up to my question. I cloned one of my signature products, drafted all the categories except one, and set up a challenge experience using the published category. What? Oh, she just said, thanks for making that easy. Thanks, that wasn't even a question, I guess. She was just saying.
Well, Tamsin, thank you for giving us the opportunity to look smart. We appreciate you. Thanks for being here. So.
Nancy, and this is probably a good question for you, Drake. I saw Brendan Bouchard's offer all his templates and pipelines in his book launch special. Do you know if members, founders will also get access to his templates and pipelines?
Great question. So that's actually something, given that there's it's got some tickets to Experts Academy and things plugged into it that are part of Brendan's world, we're happy to make it available. And if you just reach out to support, we'll be happy to walk you through the options that you can take advantage of that. So thank you very much for asking.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like that is...
Those were our questions?
Yeah,
okay.
all these people, everyone's just agreeing with us how awesome we are, and this is so super cool.
We love all of you joining and chiming in, but please, we're here to answer your questions about marketing, campaign structure, copywriting, and strategy. And this is even something, too, that as you start building your landing pages, your sales pages, this time is something that if you want to pop a link on there, I believe we can actually even screen share and go through your page live. Now, it doesn't mean that we can do it today, but it's something that we can try. I may even try it on Thursday. I happen to pop on live every Thursday just for fun around the same time. But if you are looking to get some feedback on your messaging, on your copywriting, that's something that we're here for as well. And also, you really do want to tune in on Thursdays at 11 a.m. Pacific. How many of you, if you'd like, just chime in the comments, how many of you were live with me last week Thursday when we talked to Kendra Wright about her Year of Fear and how she was leveraging surveys within her course to not only help her optimize and position her messaging, but also optimizing the course experience as well. Hopefully you were live with us on there, but just in case you missed it, being that today's topic is marketing, I want to share what Kendra is doing because I think that for a lot of you, and myself included, we end up in this creative echo chamber, where we're the only ones writing our copy, reading our copy, we're, thinking it either sounds good because it's just us, or we're thinking it sounds terrible because it's just us. There's a lot of ways that you can really make that process effortless for tweaking and optimizing your copy. And one of Kendra's approaches is, after offering a product for sale, she has a buyer survey and a non-buyer survey. The buyer survey is basically, hey, why did you choose to take action on this? Why did you purchase it? As well as what areas were a challenge for you, or why might you have considered not purchasing it? So what she's doing here is identifying their buying motivation for why they took action, as well as identifying the areas that they had resistance to or maybe caused them almost not to buy. Again, for your copywriting and tweaking it, this is going to be very powerful. Also, a non-buyer survey, which she's going to gather the information of why didn't you buy, and also what information would you like to learn in the future, because I'm going to create more free content. So it gives you an opportunity to begin understanding what other courses your users might be interested in, as well as, again, getting those buying motivations and the buying resistance points so you can optimize that for your copywriting next time around. The final survey is in the course experience after they consume the modules, asking, were there any sticking points or areas that you needed more information? This is really designed to optimize their experience as a user as they're going through the course to prompt a more enjoyable experience. And I don't want to spoil the surprise, and Joe, I don't know if we're allowed to talk about it yet, but I think we will have some very exciting things coming related to this idea of quizzes and assessments, and, there's some real cool things coming. And I'm not going to say any more than that, but the good news is during our cycle Nomad that we're in right now, we've got a lot of things in the lab that we're not really talking a whole bunch about, but you're going to be really excited when they come out. So
yeah, I think Jeremy spilt a little bit of the beans, and you're just spilling more. But
Jeremy already told you guys.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I mean, and quite frankly, he knows more than I do. So
yeah, there's actually there is a lot of things that as we've grown over the last. New Kajabi's been around for what, 2-3 years now? 2 years, I think. It seems like a lot longer than that, but yeah, we there's a lot of things that we're really listening, and I know you guys know this hopefully already, but most people will say, hey, just put it on this board and they won't look at it. But I can honestly say, and I know that Jeremy said this last week too, is that he literally looks at every single request that comes in for our users. And some of the things that we're building are, to be honest, not something that we really wanted to build at the time. But now that we're seeing the use that it would be to our users, we're building them even better than we thought technically that they could be built. So we're really excited about some of these new things. So a lot of the things too with marketing is hopefully we're dealing. We are, I believe, in Kajabi. We're dealing with a lot of the hang-ups that you might have, too, with creating your sales pipelines and different things like that. And so, I would just take advantage of. I would really take advantage of that. I'd take advantage of really taking the copy that we have and just tweaking it to fit your language. That's the biggest thing. I think that a lot of marketing people are like, hey, I need this person's copy, and they pretty much just change a few words. But I cannot stress the importance of being transparent in your marketing. We really try to do that with our marketing here. We put Kenny and Travis, we put them in front of the camera as much as possible. They are the founders of the company, the co-founders of the company, and I think you rarely see that with companies. But at the same time, we come to you guys live. We want to be an example of what that means to be transparent in your marketing, and it kind of puts us in vulnerable states too. We've been in these live things before where we've been asked questions where we're in our heads trying to figure out the answer for it as we're live. And so hopefully you guys see that, and we encourage you in your marketing to be the same way. Transparency is huge. And Kendra is a perfect example of that. When Jay Cron was on with her last week, she's a huge example of just really being just real and marketing that and finding she kind of created her own niche, whatever we're calling it nowadays.
So let's talk about this a little bit. So, from a marketing perspective, I would call this the authenticity advantage. That there is truly no amount of copywriting chicanery or design on page or anything that if you're not authentic, there quite frankly is no marketing framework that's going to save you. The idea of authenticity and the genuine connection that you are going to create with the people you are marketing to is by far the most important thing you can possibly dedicate your time to. There's an amazing book out there about this idea called 1,000 True Fans. I would highly recommend you pick it up. It's about this idea that if you can truly build your core group, the people that do identify with your authenticity and they are true fans, only 1,000 of them, you can basically grow that business to any level that your heart desires if you establish that foundation. And the only way that you're going to do that is authenticity. So I would encourage you, as you're creating copy, as you're leveraging pipelines and literally taking advantage of push-button marketing tools designed to make this effortless for you, never lose sight of the importance of authenticity. Never lose sight of that messaging being something that resonates with you as you're reading it, that it literally is bringing you back to your personal experience, your transformation, because that is what's going to give people permission to be vulnerable, permission to plug into your universe, take action, and have the same results that you've gotten.
Yeah, absolutely.
So again, before we dive into all of the specifics of copywriting or campaign structuring or any of the marketing elements, those are all amplifiers of your authenticity. They're amplifiers of the transformation you create. They are not replacements for authenticity. So I think that's a key thing that you want to make sure you're leveraging in your marketing. And for a lot of people, this may fly in the face of, oh, well, I don't know how to promote, via all social channels. You don't need to be everywhere. You just need to be one. I don't know how to create amazingly perfect videos or great transitions or lighting or anything like that. You don't have to. You just have to have a message that resonates. And if you really master this idea of authenticity, this will supercharge all of the other elements of your marketing and will cover up a lot of the things that right now may be holding you back from taking action. So authenticity is something I would encourage you to dive into. Yeah. So Joe, do we have anything on our questions there? I know everybody, we've got, probably another 5-10 minutes together. So ask away. Come up with something fun.
Yeah, and also I wanted to talk just real quick about what Jay Cron was saying about the video and kind of like, really being stressed out about that, because that's actually the world that I come from. I started with at Kajabi as a video producer, and then started getting, falling in love with marketing, and then, the rest is history. But we just did a video. I don't know if all you guys saw, but I'll have Allie listens to me sometimes when I talk. She's our social media specialist here. I'll have her post in the comments the video that we did to our blog, and it's really helpful because the reality is that so many people focus on, I need these, we have it here, lights and microphones and all this other stuff. But the reality is really we just encourage you, like, start with your phone, do different things like that, like just really. And the biggest note that I have when it comes to that is that it's not even necessarily something that you're going to put out into the world, but it's something to really look at yourself. Like if you play it back on your computer, really see how you communicate, really see how you can, make it better. And then you can test out lighting and everything like that. But Allie's going to put that in the post here soon. There's a little bit of delay, so hopefully she'll hear it. Question. I'm hosting my own courses as well as those of valued contacts. Can I just ask if you think I should host these under my existing new Kajabi site or set up another one? That's Trish is asking that.
Hi, Trisha. Thanks for asking a question. We appreciate it. So I would say I'm a big fan of really making sure that brands stay separate, because the user experience and the community that will develop based around those courses is going to be unique to that brand or unique to that person. So I really would encourage you to look at having a site represent the brand, the experience, the universe, if you will, that you want that member to have. And if you're going to have anything outside of that, that would be a different site, because that's going to be a different experience, a different community, and a different deliverable for that individual. So I would strongly encourage you, if they're different brands, they need different sites, they need different presences. That way their experiences can be had individually in those universes. So thank you very much for asking.
She gave a little clap on there too. So.
Oh, a clap? Thank you so much. That was very nice of you.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So,
all right. Well, I mean, we know a lot of you guys here, and I know that you guys know a lot about marketing, but we're gonna stay on for about another 5 minutes. So if you guys have any questions, we will. But I know you got a lot of stuff to talk about, Jay Cron. What do you?
I always have a lot of stuff to talk about. So one of the things that I've seen in our group this week that I did want to touch on is the importance of one. And what I mean by the importance of one is whether it's one video, one blog post, one email, one sale, regardless of the amount, one is so much greater than zero. It's barely even comparable. I don't even have the language to describe the amount of difference between something that doesn't exist and something that does. And for a lot of people, this is the moment where they, at times, will abandon their entrepreneurial journey. It's, I launched my course and I only got 1 sale, or I only got 3 sales, or I only got 5 sales. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh my gosh, I really thought this was going to be something where I would open up the cart and the floodgates would come in and the entire world would beat a path to my doorstep. And it's this perception that really does short circuit would-be amazing businesses capable of creating amazing change in the marketplace, and they stall out here, not because they're not going to get there, but because their expectations are becoming their enemy of progress. And I've seen this a lot where people will post in the group like, oh my gosh, I didn't get the sales I thought I was going to get. And I want to share with you that every single individual in this industry, whether you're just starting out, whether you're in a medium term, whether you're in a mature state, whatever area of your business growth you are in right now, understand that everybody that you look up to, everybody that you are aspiring to be, started with 1 sale. That if you talk to anybody, including Brendan Burchard, one of the largest personalities in our industry, he will tell you about when he did his first webinars where literally, I mean, his mom might have been one of the people on the webinar and there were only 3 other people on. I can remember even seeing, Brendan speaking in very small rooms just starting out because he knew where he was going, but he was willing to get through that period where only 1 person was interested. But remember, if you had 1 person get interested, you can get more people interested. You can grow that. You can grow your audience. You can amplify it. So I want to just tell you that if you're at a moment where you're wondering, man, I didn't get the results I wanted on this, know that getting any results is the first step to getting greater and greater results and building on that success. So if you're watching today and you've just created your first landing page and gotten your first email address, congratulations. If you've launched your course and you've gotten your first sale, congratulations. If you finally put that video up on YouTube and realized that nobody laughed about your bad lighting or nobody laughed about your bad audio, congratulations. Anybody that's watching that has taken a step in the last couple of days in their business to just move that ball forward, going from 0 to 1, congratulations. And I want to encourage all of you to make sure that you are continuing to take that step, because even here at Kajabi, believe it or not, we try to push ourselves every single day. We try to push ourselves to do technology things that nobody's done before, marketing campaigns that nobody's ever attempted before. Heck, we even hop on live with you, and we got no net. We don't even know how it's going to go. So, I mean, the lights could suck. I might look fat on camera. I don't even know what could happen. But the bottom line is we're pushing that envelope, and we're moving forward, and we're hoping that by leading by example, you're going to do the same. So that was one of the things I wanted to talk about, Joe, because we had a lot of people in the group this week that are launching their courses, and it's so exciting. They're taking it live. They're getting it out to the world. Yeah. And before you know it, their expectation enemy creeps in, and it's like, oh my gosh, I should have had this, or I should have had that, or I should have, why didn't I get my Ferrari the first time? Yeah. And it's like, man, if you got enough to take your wife out to TGI Fridays for endless appetizers, that's a win. You can go out and celebrate. And now to be fair, I'm a Chili's guy because the triple dipper and the honey chipotle wings, that's my jam. So like if you're ever in the area and you really want to take me out somewhere, Chili's triple dipper, slam dunk all day long. But beside the point. Yes. Celebrate the wins, celebrate the progress, because every single business you're looking at, you are comparing someone's highlight reel to your cutting room floor. You're comparing somebody's middle or late stage to your beginning. Don't do that to yourself because you'll stall out and it will make me sad. So celebrate the progress, and if you haven't had the honey chipotle wings at Chili's, you're missing out. Oh, gosh. So, Chili's. Joe, do we have any more questions?
We do, yeah. Speaking of launches, Steven asks, I'm using Kajabi to run my membership site. Will there be more functionality added in terms of forums, etc. in the future?
Wow. Great question. And that was Steven, right?
Yes.
Steven, thank you very much for asking. So first and foremost, if you have not yet been to ideas.newkajabi.com, I'm going to ask you to head over there, because this is something that when you talk about the idea of forums, connectivity, and people behind that user wall connecting with each other, there are so many use cases and so many desired features, desired methodologies for what community represents. And we want to know yours. We want to know to use a software term, we want to know your use case and what would be exciting for you to have in those features. But to answer your question, community and how to leverage that is something that we talk about a lot. It's something that right now we are really trying to understand what the market wants, what the users are going to want, and how to really create something that becomes powerful and exciting for someone to participate in, but it doesn't become overwhelming and a total bummer that is flooding your email box with 11 billion updates on 11 billion threads. And that forum idea is something, too, that it's kind of ebbed and flowed. You know, forum was hot when IRC was hot, and then forums went away as Facebook and MySpace came in. And now forums are sort of coming back as Facebook has now a lot more advertising going on. So there's a lot of talk about this idea of community and how to leverage it. And more importantly, we want to know what's going to be important for you. So, Stephen, if you would head over there and let us know, that would be super helpful.
That actually follows up with another thing that Larry is saying. He says that he thinks that we answered this in a prior AMA, but forums are thought to be on the way out, and Facebook groups, comments, etc., are taking their place. So I guess that just kind of confirms a little bit.
Well, Larry, great to see you, dude. Thanks for coming in. And as far as forums go, I would say the king is dead, long live the king. The joke about that is, you know, everything is always dying. You know, product launches are dying, webinars are dying, list building is dying, direct mail is dying. You know, it's interesting because you always have copywriters that are designed to grab everyone's attention, and so you end up with a lot of these, you know, marketing statements of something is dying or going away. And the reality of it is, they're all just channels. They're all available to be leveraged. I can introduce you to people today like the Amish Fireplace Company. They're doing hundreds of millions of dollars a year via mail, like literally like paper envelope stamped on it in the mail, and they're killing it. So be very careful of declaring anything dead, because normally when that happens, it means that it's actually doing very well and it's a medium that you may want to check out, because it's one of those that if it falls out of popularity, it becomes even easier to leverage. Now, related to forums, I can touch on this very specifically because forums were hot and then social media came out and kind of replaced elements of forums. So then forums were not. And then social media got a whole bunch of very exotic advertising wrapped around their platforms. And all of a sudden, forums are becoming a little bit hotter again, because all of a sudden people are like, man, I love Facebook groups, but I'm really tired of my Facebook group being flooded with advertisements that, you know, are distracting. So this idea of whether forums are dead or not, I don't know that I would ever say they died, and I don't know that I would ever say they're coming back to be super in vogue. I would say that depending on your application, depending on the experience for your users, and depending on the portals that they frequent the most, that's what's going to derive whether they're going to be valuable for you or not. As it relates to Kajabi, we are going to certainly have an opinion about what is the most effective way to engage your audience, and that's where we look at our application of community being so important, and that's why your use cases and what you're excited about is going to matter so much. But I would say, where are your users? Where do your users like to go to consume? And creating those environments is what's going to be most important.
Yeah. Well, I think this will be a good ending comment from Claudia. She says, love your product, still waiting for my first sale. Can't wait for that to happen. So grateful for all the new features that you launched recently. So thank you. Thank you, Claudia.
Claudia, thank you so much for joining us. And more importantly than anything, we're excited and we are waiting with you. And so hopefully you are watching this right now, and maybe this will be the motivation to go do another Facebook Live, go write another blog post, go pop another video on YouTube, go let the world know what it is you have available for them to plug in and the transformation that you can create for them. Because keep in mind, when we going all the way back to the beginning of our AMA today, depending on the statistics you look at, $75 billion to $200 to $300 billion is being spent on this idea of self-directed digital education. And with 3 billion new users in the world coming online, they have passions, they have desires, they want to progress. Digital education is only going to get bigger. So this is an amazing opportunity for you to plug in and build your business on a platform that is going to continue to grow with you and empower you to take on this idea of digital education entrepreneurship, no matter what the industry looks like. So we're glad you're here. We're excited that you're on our platform. And everybody watching, thank you so much for joining us today. We're live every Tuesday, #AskKajabi at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And also, we would love to hear from you. Let us know in the comments some topics that you'd love us to tackle or things that you'd love us to present about, or be available to ask and answer questions. We know sometimes it's tough to get on live. If you have questions, drop them in the comment thread and we'll answer them. Or if you've got ideas for future #AskKajabis, let us know. We would love to do it. And Joe, thanks for hanging with me today.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Pretty fun, right?
Yeah.
So anything super deep, impactful? Any closing thoughts that you want to leave them with?
No, I'm going to go do some more marketing.
And if all of you only get that out of today, the answer is always, I'm going to go do some more marketing. So we're going to do the same. We hope you are too. And we hope to see you next Tuesday for another live #AskKajabi. We'll see you soon.
See you guys.